Rock and roll in the 60s and 70s is usually remembered through its giants. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, the Rolling Stones, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd. These names tower like monuments over the history of modern music. But just beneath that surface, in smoky clubs, tiny studios, and garage rehearsal rooms, a whole different story was being written, a story of bands who never became household names, but left behind music that was bold, experimental, and sometimes even prophetic. This is not just a countdown, it's a journey through the lost veins of rock's underground bloodstream. These are the bands whose riffs and visions planted seeds in the soil of future rock, metal, punk, and psychedelic movements. So lean in, because today we're diving deep into 15 obscure 60s and 70s bands you need to hear. You better get it second time around and then you know. San Francisco in the late 60s was a psychedelic gold rush. Everyone from Jefferson Airplane to the Grateful Dead was pushing boundaries. Try and pick up on what's going round. But in 1969, a little-known group called Kak released a self-titled album that distilled the energy of the scene into just 36 minutes of kaleidoscopic rock. Well done. The record flopped commercially, but listen to Electric Sailor or Lemonade Kid, and you'll hear wild guitar textures and harmonies that rival the Airplane or Quicksilver Messenger service. Why they matter? Kak captured the essence of the Haight-Ashbury explosion, and their record has since become one of the most sought-after psychedelic rarities. It's proof that the underground wasn't just happening in the Fillmore, it was everywhere. When Tim Bogert and Carmine Appice left Vanilla Fudge, they formed Cactus, a blues rock powerhouse that took the rawness of Cream and cranked it louder, dirtier, faster. Their cover of Parchment Farm was so blistering, it left contemporaries like Zeppelin and Mountain looking over their shoulders. Yet, despite their talent, Cactus never broke out beyond cult status. Too heavy for radio, too unpolished for mainstream success. Why they matter. Cactus were proto-metal before the term existed, paving the way for later American heaviness, from Grand Funk to early Metallica's influences. Imagine stumbling across the blueprint for stoner rock decades before Kiss or Slip. That's Leaf, Hound's growers of mushroom. Released in 1971, it's drenched in fuzz, attitude, and Sabbath-like grooves. Frontman Peter French later sang with Atomic Rooster and Cactus, but Leaf Hound's only album remained buried until vinyl collectors rediscovered it, with one copy fetching over $10,000 at auction. Why they matter. Leaf Hound's heavy blues psych was years ahead of its time, laying groundwork for entire subgenres. Guns' 1968 hit, Race with the Devil, reached the UK charts, but the band quickly fizzled. Yet, that one track with its galloping riff and ominous lyrics echoed into the future, influencing early heavy metal and NWOBHM bands like Judas Priest. Why they matter. Guns' mix of psychedelia and proto-metal aggression shows how quickly the 60s were mutating into something darker and heavier. T2's It'll All Work Out in Boomland was a prog hard rock gem lost to time. The guitarist, Keith Cross, was just 17, but played with the fire of Clapton and the vision of Steve Howe. Tracks like Morning and No More White Horses combine delicate, dreamlike passages with crushing heaviness, almost like a prelude to Opeth decades later. Why they matter. T2 were too early for prog metal, but they sketched its outlines in 1970. Brooklyn teenagers, distortion cranked to 11, drums that sounded like cannons. This was Sir Lord Baltimore. Their debut, Kingdom Come, is often hailed as one of the first true heavy metal albums. Songs like Master Heartache are chaotic, aggressive, and raw proto-thrash years before thrash was born. Why they matter. Sir Lord Baltimore didn't just dabble in heaviness, they lived it, writing the first chapter of American metal. Budgie were Welsh, weird, and wonderful. Led by bassist, vocalist Burke Shelley, their sound balanced Sabbath-like weight with Rush-like eccentricity. Their 1973 song, Bread Fan, became legendary after Metallic covered it. Tracks like Parents and Crash Course in Brain Surgery show their melodic yet heavy personality. Why they matter. Budgie proved that heaviness didn't have to mean monotony. They were a cult favorite among musicians, if not mainstream fans. Splendid, easy women. If Sabbath were doomed from Birmingham, Bang were doomed from Pennsylvania. Their self-titled debut is drenched in apocalyptic riffs and dark lyricism. With songs like Lions, Christians, and the Queen, Bang brought a sinister heaviness to American hard rock. Then one day Mark appeared. Why they matter. Their doom-laden sound became the template for later stoner and doom metal movements. With just one single, I'm 5 years ahead of my time, the Third Bardo captured garage site perfection. Fuzzy guitars, sneering vocals, and paranoid lyrics. Though they never released an album, the track lived on through the Nuggets compilation, inspiring generations of garage revivalists. Why they matter. Proof that one great song can echo across decades. A supergroup with ex-members of Deep Purple, Iron Butterfly, and Johnny Winter's band, Captain Beyond fused cosmic lyrics with crushing riffs. Their debut is full of prog metal precursors. Shifting time signatures, astral imagery, and relentless energy, why they matter. Captain Beyond were the missing link between prog and metal, and their cult following remains strong. Fronted by Glenn Hughes before his Deep Purple days, Trapeze blended funk with hard rock swagger. Medusa is a standout, a soulful, heavy masterpiece. Why they matter. Trapeze pioneered the fusion of funk, soul, and hard rock decades before bands like RHCP took it mainstream.
Stay lost in this moment forever.
Featuring Keith Relf of the Yardbirds, Armageddon released one ambitious self-titled album in 1975. A mix of prog, hard rock, and heavy psychedelia, it was sprawling, chaotic, and brilliant. Tragedy struck when Relf died soon after, leaving the band a lost supergroup. Why they matter. Armageddon were a what could have been band whose one record hinted at rock's uncharted possibilities. Teenagers from London who opened for Kiss, Rush, and Priest, yet never made it big. Their music? Bluesy, heavy, epic. Tracks like All in Your Mind stretched into long jams, balancing rawness with ambition. Why they matter. Stray represent the sound of hungry young rockers who deserved more recognition. Led by Tony McPhee, the Groundhogs morphed from straight blues into experimental, fuzz-driven, prog-infused madness. Albums like Split and Thank Christ for the Bomb pushed boundaries while staying rooted in the blues. Why they matter. They were blues rock's strangest innovators, praised by Clapton, but never reaching stardom. Hey, rock lore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow. You're becoming a member of the Rocklore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger. Before punk hit NYC, there was Dust, a teenage power trio whose sound was proto-metal thunder. Their albums Dust and Heart Attack were packed with aggression songs like Suicide, felt decades ahead of their time. Their drummer, Mark Bell, later became Marky Ramone of the Ramones. Dust were the bridge between heavy rock and punk, a perfect symbol of how the 70s underground shaped the future. The journey doesn't end here. Rock Warrior, watch this next.